Touche Everything, episode number 15. Big Spooky Wayne, special guest Andrew in the house.
So what's up, Andy?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
You know, we're chilling, hanging in there. It's a Thursday night?
Yeah, Thursday night.
Thursday the 13th. Not quite Friday the 13th.
No.
Day before Valentine's Day.
You guys excited?
I guess so.
Yeah.
You guys got love on the mind? Anything special planned for the ladies tomorrow?
Got no plans.
Most plans I have is just getting some flowers, and I think that's about it.
Just the flowers?
Just the flowers. I think that'll do, honestly. I'm not putting in any more effort, so
You're not going to like get a bunch of rose petals and lead them into the bedroom. You're just going to be in there in a silk thong or something.
no, but that is a good idea. I think
No.
I might actually.
Red Snuggie.
Red Snuggie?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's the move.
Nothing on under it.
Ooh.
He gets like a custom one. It's just got a little like peephole in it.
Super oiled up. I'm like the oiled up deaf guy from Family Guy. Hi, guys.
Just smells like so much cocoa butter in there.
Just a tub of cocoa butter. I'm just dump myself in.
Nothing planned for you though, Andrew?
Nothing.
No.
Not doing anything. No.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, doesn't feel like the season of love.
It doesn't. It's just really nasty outside, at least in our area.
But I mean, Monday is President's Day.
It is. You guys excited for those president
Big
sales?
plans for President's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have a favorite president? Maybe like Herbert Hoover.
Herbert Hoover. I like Teddy Roosevelt.
Man, I got to go. Is it Taft?
William
The guy
Howard
that was
Taft.
so big he got stuck in a bathtub?
No, I thought that was Teddy Roosevelt.
No.
So was it?
Teddy Roosevelt wasn't that big.
No, he was a
Teddy
guy.
rode horses.
Did he?
I think that's what the teddy bear is based off of.
Wasn't
Yeah,
there two Roosevelts?
There might have been like.
There's many Roosevelts.
Yeah.
Talking presidential. here.
No.
Yeah, I'm not
Can't
really
speak
sure.
on it.
So you guys watch any competitive eaters on YouTube? I always find myself in rabbit holes watching competitive eaters.
Not a lot. I watch a little bit of the Beard Meats Food guy. He's not really eating competitively on YouTube. He's just eating a lot of food in a short amount of time. But he is a competitive eater technically, and that's about as far as I go.
Was that the same guy we were watching the other day, or no?
Beard meats. I can't remember. No, we were watching Joey Chestnut.
Okay. I think the only like competitive eater that I really watch, and it's like usually with you, is probably Matt Stoney. Is that his name?
Yeah, Matt
Yeah,
Stoney. He's
yeah.
good.
He's pretty good. Yeah, I like his videos. Yeah,
Did you see the Joey Chestnut versus Kobayashi thing on Netflix?
I have not. No.
No.
They did a like live eating competitive hot dog, and it was Kobayashi, like the old record holder, and Joey Chestnut, like the current one,
All right.
because they got kicked both off of the Nathan's hot dog
Mm-hmm.
due to sponsors or something like that. So
Yeah.
they're like, screw this. We're just gonna go to Netflix.
Yeah.
We're gonna film our own. And Joey Chestnut won by like a good margin.
Yeah.
Stuck down like 70 hot dogs.
Jesus.
I mean, they've both been eating competitively for 20 plus years at this point.
Yeah.
like I always wonder, like a lot of competitive eaters don't typically look like they would, do that like professionally. They're just like super skinny. Like I wonder how they like stay in shape after like downing so much like food.
I have a feeling they've got to do a strange diet where once a week they eat just insane. And
Yeah.
the rest of the time they're incredibly healthy.
Yeah.
You can't eat like that every day. You will die. I know, what was the guy's name for the Discovery Channel? Adam something.
The guy who did Man versus Food.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he struggled, but he had a weird diet where he would go on the show and eat just obscene amounts of food, and then he would just eat like very healthy most of the time.
Right.
But I mean, you have to, or you're gonna have diabetes in like week 2 of the episode.
Yeah. He looked super unhealthy for a number of years.
He already like didn't look great, but I think he was trying his best.
That's got to be tough. Like, oh, I finally got my own TV show, and it's just traveling around eating an
Yeah.
obscene amount of food.
Yeah.
On paper, it sounds like a great idea, and then you start doing it, and you're like, "This is rough."
Pretty crazy. I know I like Eric the Electric.
Yeah.
He'll do like crazy 200-mile bike rides, and then he'll do like an eating challenge same day. Be like, all right, I'm going to eat 10,000 calories and I'm going to bike 200 miles.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, and he'll just like on his bike ride, just be like hammering down Skittles and
Yeah.
everything.
Well, because the Skittles kind of like help with like energy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do need to get calories while you're riding a bike, but he'll eat like 3 large pizzas and go for a super long bike ride.
Oh,
Why?
It's what his content is, and that's who he is as a person and YouTuber.
I like that YouTube has so many like interesting like niches, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like really cool. Like things that you like never really think about, like people like actually do. Like you could just find a video on like literally anything.
Yeah. Sometimes it's videos that you're like, why did you make this?
Right.
Who are you making this for?
Like I've seen a video where like a guy sort of like makes like miniature like models of like old gas stations with like older.
Oh yeah, I think
Yeah.
I've seen that guy.
Yeah,
And
it's pretty cool.
when they pan to the right angle, you're like, this is a real gas station.
Yeah.
And they zoom out and it's like 12 inches wide.
Right. I don't know. I always find videos like that like super interesting. Yeah.
I've been falling into like a lot of the prankster YouTubers too.
Yeah.
But, like just like the kids that go to Walmart and screw around and mess with people. It's so funny. It's so immature, but it gets a lot of views.
Yeah. Oh. Is there like any one in particular that you
I like Balin Levine
Right.
and Blake Backert. He's kind of on the up and coming right now. He's pretty funny. He just travels the country. It's hilarious. He just travel the country and just live out the early 20s, just
Right.
pranking and posting YouTube videos, and it just seems like such a cool life to live.
Sure. I'm sure you get in a lot of trouble like doing that kind of stuff, like pranking, like
Yeah.
pissing people off.
There's this one. He goes into a Honda dealership. He's like, I'm looking for Hank. Just some random name.
Yeah.
He's just got like a BS name for himself. He's just like, yeah, I'm John and I'm here looking for Hank. So then, like, he goes through the whole dealership and they find some dude named Hank that works in like the service center in the back, and they bring him out. Just like, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Oh man.
Pretty funny. Let's see. You guys have like a morning routine that you do? Like, so say you wake up, what's the first thing you do?
Man, my routine is fast. I wake up, I take a shower, put on my clothes, have breakfast, quick breakfast, and leave. I wake up, and within 25 to 30 minutes, I'm in my car driving to work.
It's not bad. That's a pretty good time.
Yeah, it's a routine, but it's not. There's like 3 things. I just shower, dress, food, out.
Yeah.
I think mine's a little bit different because I have a kid now. So I just wake up, get myself ready, and I got to like prepare breakfast for him and everything. So I do that, and yeah, just be a dad for the day pretty much. I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
I'm usually pretty quick in the morning too. Like, I'll get to the office and people are like, man, you look tired. I'm like, yeah, I was asleep about 15 minutes ago. That's why I look tired.
Yeah, I am.
I just got out of bed.
Yeah.
Literally.
What, have you been awake for 6 hours? What are you talking about? Of course I'm tired.
At least you do breakfast in the morning, though. Like, I do not ever do breakfast in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, it's a new thing for me doing breakfast. And I mean, honestly, sometimes it's just like toast. Like, it's just eating something. But yeah, I'm not like making like a full egg sandwich, but I'm trying to eat something. Yeah, helps.
Have you seen like those YouTube videos where it's just like, oh, day in the life of like a rich guy that sells cars or something, like day in the life of like some bullshit.
Like a 23-year-old
Yeah.
e-commerce multimillionaire.
Pretty much. And it's just like that question reminded me of that. Just like looking at their lives and just like, yeah, you don't do that every single day.
Wake up at
Yeah.
4:30 a.m., get in a 10-mile run, get back, shower, check my crypto portfolio. Then it's time to start work for the day. It's 6:30 in the morning. Just like, no way, dude.
Just hyping that shit up for no
I
reason.
actually, who is it? Is it Mark Wahlberg who like legit like that's his like routine? Like he wakes up at like 4 o'clock in the morning,
I could see
gets
that.
like a 2-hour workout in, goes home and like makes breakfast for his kids or something crazy. I think it is him. He's got just like a crazy routine. I mean, he's all his roles he needs to be ripped for.
Right.
But
True.
yeah, he's got some crazy routine where he wakes up super early and yeah, that's rough. I don't know. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I like waking up early. I used to get up early a lot, but these days, screw that.
Yeah, I think waking up like early, I feel like you have just like more. It feels like you have more time in like the day, like throughout the day. It's like the
Yeah.
day is a lot longer.
It's more peaceful.
I mean, you do. Yeah, every hour you wake up, there's an hour you gain,
That's
as long as
true.
you stay up at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're literally gaining time.
But like, you see those old shows like people get up, like the husband reads the paper every morning, and mom makes like a 3-course breakfast for the kids. How is that realistic? Who has time for that these days?
I don't know. I don't live in with like a significant other and like raising like children. Like I don't see myself doing that. Like I don't know. It's interesting though. Like seeing the like the movies and how everything is just like in place. The mom makes breakfast, the dad's sitting around the table. And it's just like, no, nobody does that. We get up, we check our phones, and we kind of like do our own thing. And then yeah, we just make our own breakfast and like we're on our way.
One thing that kind of annoys me is when I see kids waiting for the bus, but they're just waiting in their parents' cars. Like, what are you doing? You're like, you can either the parent can just drive the kid to school
Right.
instead of sitting there for 20 minutes waiting for the bus. Or B, I mean, I was out there freaking standing in the snow and the rain waiting for the bus.
Oh yeah.
What the heck?
I always lived too close to like get the bus, so I had to like walk like the mile, and like that shit sucked, especially like in the winter. It's just like snowing outside and sleeting.
Yeah, that was never fun. I remember
Yeah.
walking home and there was like an ice storm or something. It would take me like roughly a half hour to walk home. But like with the ice everywhere, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to slip and fall.
This is the equivalent to us now having to go to work in
Yeah.
a blizzard.
Yeah.
It was you walking a mile in ice as a kid.
Just take me so much longer.
Yeah.
How long do you guys tend to spend in the bathroom for either you're going number 2 or you're taking a shower? Are you quick in there? Or are you one to more so take your time?
Depends on the time of day. If I'm showering before work, it's quick. But if I'm showering like after work because I'm going somewhere, I'm in there for a while. I'm just enjoying the hot shower and I'm just gonna sit there.
All right.
Yeah, it's like it's nice. But yeah, if I got the time to stand in the shower, I'm standing in the shower.
For me, it's I don't know. I'm usually in and out pretty quick. Like I used to take like super long showers, but it's just like yeah, I just know what I'm doing. I get in there. I'm just like I'm in and
You
out.
figured it out.
Yeah,
you
like
got a
I,
plan.
like I don't want to be in there for like half an hour, 45 minutes. Like I just want to do what I got to do and just like get about my day pretty much.
Have you guys seen that meme where it's like anything below the knees, like guys just let the water get it?
Yeah.
Actually like wash their feet.
You guys actually wash your feet?
Yeah, I wash my feet.
Yeah, I wash my feet.
Out of all the parts of the body, the feet gotta get washed.
Yeah.
So are you guys like do you guys use rags like washcloths or
Rags. I like the idea of just a shop rag in the shower.
like washcloths or is this like
I'm
you got
bar soap.
bar soap?
Yeah.
I'm a bar soap guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I'm more of like a washcloth guy. You know,
Yeah,
use
loofah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so much a loofah, but just like the actual washcloth.
You got one of those like
Yeah.
pink puffy things? One of
Nah.
those scrubbers?
I've never used one of those. I just get like the little cloth that you like buy at the
Yeah,
store
yeah.
and just like put soap on there, clean myself.
Yeah. When I'm at a hotel, I'll
Yeah.
treat myself. I'll bring a washcloth into the shower.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's because they don't have the bar soap.
Right.
I can see Wayne it being like a whole process for him. He's got like the like shower cap on. He's got the bathrobe on.
Definitely not a whole process. It's not. Like, you know, I grab my towel, get in there, and just like jump in the shower pretty much. It kind of sucks because my I don't know, like when I take a shower, like my bathroom, like what do you call it? Like the bathtub pipe
Yeah.
doesn't really get get hot. Like the shower doesn't get super hot, so I'm just waiting outside, like sticking my hand in, just like waiting for the water to get super hot, but it's usually not. So yeah
Super hot fire.
pretty much.
I can see you like taking like 20 minutes to air dry after you're lotioning up.
Put on that red snuggie.
I do lotion though. I do lotion.
You're laying on your bed, just on your belly with your feet up in the air, looking at your phone.
I do have the cocoa butter that I lather all the way from the top of my head all the way to my feet.
What is the pace that you go through cocoa butter if it's everywhere? Are you going through like one every 2 weeks? That is so much surface area.
Not particularly. I'd say probably like every 3 weeks I'll go through like
That's pretty close.
like a decent like
Yeah.
tub. Yeah.
I mean, I use lotion so infrequently. If you give me one of those, I'm
Yeah.
good for like 6 years.
no, I got it. Because if I don't use lotion, like I'll like you just see like ashiness. Like I'm pretty ashy and like cracked up everywhere.
You should just get one of those like spray tan booths
Mhm.
and just like put cocoa butter
Yeah.
in like the little gun.
Just get like a mist, just like hitting me.
Yeah. Get a little get a little Lady Susan on the bottom. You just
Yeah.
kind of spin. Just hits you. Yeah.
You have your girl just misting you down.
It's not a bad idea. I might look into that.
What's the worst place you guys have ever had to use the bathroom?
Oh boy.
Worst place.
I think when I was younger, it was definitely like that high school bathroom, or like middle school bathroom, because like every time you go in there, it's just like, oh, somebody's taking a shit. You're like, oh god. As an adult, I'm not really sure. I guess you could maybe like a public like a supermarket like restroom. It's kind of like super gross.
I know there's a couple that I've walked in and walked out of.
Yeah.
And I was like, we'll figure something else out. I don't remember where, but I know it's happened. where I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'll deal with it. I'll find another solution.
I was at this big event down in Pennsylvania, and it was like just a lot of porta potties everywhere.
Right.
And there were so many people there, like just number twos, the size of beer cans sitting in there. Just disgusting. It's like, oh my God.
Now, we talking like over the level of the liquid that's in those things?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say like over the seat.
Over the seat, I mean, no, though, right?
No, not that
Just a
bad.
log sitting on the seat.
I mean, hey, some people are kind of gross.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I will say, if we're going to talk about the best places to go to the bathroom, when I used to live out in Colorado and I was doing sales on the road, when I needed a spot to go to the bathroom, home goods stores and fabric stores. Men don't go there. The bathrooms are always immaculate.
Yeah.
You go in there at noon, you're probably the first guy to go in there. Like, yeah. As a guy, if you need a
Yeah.
clean spot, fabric stores.
I used to work for a college, and the fourth floor was the nursing floor. Not too many men in the program. So if I ever had to go use the bathroom, need a nice, quiet, comfortable spot,
Yeah.
hit the fourth floor.
Like going to like school or like, working, the buildings are like super big. Did you guys ever had like a designated like bathroom where you'd go all the time because either you got away from like people that you knew, like not walking in and seeing, oh, so-and-so took a shit. Like,
No, not really.
No, you just like use anyone.
When I worked at the mall, it'd be the one right outside of Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
Because there was already one inside of Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
Like in that little Starbucks area they have in there.
Mhm.
So this one was like kind of tucked away on the outside.
Right.
And it was only like 2 stalls.
Yeah.
So it was a lot quieter, typically a lot cleaner.
Okay. Yeah, I remember when I was at university, I would leave the building and walk across campus just to use one particular one because I had my alone time and it was like super quiet.
Pretty from the UK. Back when I was at uni.
Maybe. Beep, beep, cheerio.
Oh, yeah. It's always good to find a good, clean public restroom.
Oh, yeah.
Ideally, you save it for the home bowl, but if you got to go, you got to go. Would you guys rather only be able to eat one thing for the rest of your life or never be able to eat the same thing twice?
I think I would rather eat one thing for the rest of my life as opposed to like never eating the same thing twice. I think what would I eat consistently? I don't know. I'd say like a peanut PB&J, like consistently for the rest of my life. Oh, it just goes down.
That's kind of a good answer. Those are good, but like at the same time, it's just straight sugar all the time.
That's
Yeah,
true.
you have to try to get a complete diet out of one meal,
Right.
which I mean, you could give me 2 months to figure out what that ideal meal would be. Something that would actually be tasty and wouldn't kill me after 6 months. I mean, I'd probably, you're going to get scurvy if you only have PB&J,
Right.
so you're not going to last a year.
Take me out. I don't need to be here.
I feel like a sandwich you can get just about everything in.
Mhm.
You can get vegetables. You can get like kind of fruits if you use like specific like jams and condiments.
Right.
Protein, dairy, grains.
Mhm.
It'd be some kind of sandwich or like a grinder.
Okay.
Probably be my go-to.
What's it? Would it be your go-to tuna sandwich or no?
I feel like I'd get mercury poisoning
Yeah,
after a
tuna's
while.
probably not the move.
Maybe like a turkey or something.
Okay.
Nice white meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Not
mean,
bad.
I feel like I would have to go one food just because I think after like 6 or 8 years, I might run out of options.
Right.
I mean, we're talking what, over 1,000 different items every year and be off the list. After 2 months, I'm gonna be like, I guess I'm eating Malaysian food. I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna try it.
What if it could reset every 5 years?
You still be cutting it pretty close, I'd imagine. 5 years.
I mean, like one day, like for like 1 month, you go through all the cereals, and then after that, you switch to all the sandwiches, and then all the different types of pizza.
I mean, if you start out with cereal, by the end of the month, you got diabetes.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it would just be so much planning. There'd be so much thought involved. Yeah. I think I'd like to think that I could do a different food for every meal. But man, that spreadsheet is going to get overwhelming.
You've got a whole Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're going to need to get AI to a place where it can manage it for me.
But imagine that, considering that you have to eat, consistently change food, so you'd have to be either ordering out or like have to actually know how to cook everything. So I mean, I could only probably count on my like one hand, like how many things I could actually cook from scratch. So
Yeah,
that'd be
I mean, given a
yeah.
recipe, you can make anything.
That's
it might
true.
not be like the best thing you've ever had,
Yeah.
but you can make anything decent, I
Yeah.
bet.
I mean, you just got to try. You just got to want to try to cook different things.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like when people say they can't cook, it means they just haven't really done it.
I
Like,
don't know.
you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I do cook a lot. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but
You
it's
just got 5 specialties.
yeah, it's just usually the same
Yeah.
5. Yeah,
Yeah. I think that's the same with a lot of people. Like, I can make food. I have like 3 to 5 things that I will eat very consistently
right.
multiple times a week because they're easy and I like to make them. I like to eat them. But yeah.
I'd probably go stick with one thing because I'm already pretty simple. Like I'll eat the same 3 things every week and just keep it consistent like that.
Yeah. Do you know what your one thing would be if you had to go with one item?
I'd probably have to go with like a grinder of some sort.
Yeah.
I'm a big sandwich guy.
Okay.
Some kind of turkey then?
Yeah.
Turkey,
Yeah.
probably not ham, maybe like a chicken. Because there's so many different ways you can do chicken.
Yeah. Now, are you having to do it the same way every time? Like if you say I'm going to have like a turkey and Swiss, are you having like a turkey and Swiss with mayo on white? Is that every single time?
For the sake of the kind of annoyingness of it, yes.
Okay.
But I mean, I feel like if you really had to do that with the same ingredients, you can do a lot of different things.
Yeah. Like you could go cheese, then turkey. You could go turkey, then cheese.
Oh, yeah.
You can get crazy.
Yeah. You can get wild. You can toast it or not toast it.
Yeah. Today I did half a pound of turkey and 1 piece of lettuce. It was wild.
You can melt the cheese first, then put the turkey on, or
Man,
warm
you
the
would go
turkey up.
insane. You would go absolutely crazy. You're like, look what I've done today.
It'd be absolutely bonkers for me.
Today I chopped up the bread into croutons and made a turkey sandwich salad.
That actually sounds kind of
Not
good.
actually bad. That's
Yeah,
pretty
I think
good.
that's fair.
When's the last time you guys had to mail a letter?
Oh my god. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. No. I think like still do not know how to like do that. Like I have to call like my grandmother or like somebody to like ask, how do you unmail this? Like, what do I?
You just put the address, you put a stamp on it, and then you put your address in the top left corner.
It just stresses me out, man. I know I'm gonna mess up and do something
You
wrong.
put your address and the address
Yeah.
it's supposed to go to, and they take it out of your mailbox and they go, okay.
Like I've sent more packages than I actually mailed like a
Mm-hmm.
letter, and it's just like every time I gotta have like the person who's working there like help me out, like to do it essentially. Like I am not good with that.
Yeah. Are you someone who regularly mails
I
things?
don't regularly mail letters, but today I had to like write out a couple letters to mail, and I'm just like, who
Yeah.
does this anymore?
Yeah, I know a few people who regularly send out Christmas cards and thank you cards, and they actively go out of their way to send letters.
Yeah.
And it's nice. I mean, it shows a little more caring than text. Hey, thanks for that.
Yeah, it's a lot more thoughtful.
Yeah, and it only takes like 3 minutes to write, put postage on and address a letter. But yeah, a lot of people don't do it.
Yeah.
I feel like the postal service today, it's either junk mail or packages.
Mhm.
Like nothing really else.
Mm-hmm.
Like back in the day, that was one of the only forms of communication
Right.
is sending a letter to somebody. Now it's just you get a bunch of junk mail. People trying to sign you up for credit cards and
Yeah.
car insurance and AAA memberships.
Oh, those are annoying. I hate the fact that I get like like the newspaper with like all the discounted like items at like different stores. Like I get those consistently.
I will
every
say
week.
I'm more likely to open that than like a letter from my bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more likely to like look at some coupons and see like what's going on with my credit score. Like I don't care.
Ooh, hamburgers $3 a pound this week.
Yeah, and I won't use the coupon, but I will say that. I'll be like, that's a good deal. And they'll just throw them away. Like, I don't know why I looked at them.
I think it's silly because you could literally download their app and like actually look and see what's like on sale or like what coupon you could use. So I don't understand why they still send that out.
Because I don't download the app, but I will flip through something someone puts in my mailbox.
Yeah.
I check my mailbox every day. Rarely do I ever take anything out of it.
You
Just
like-
kind of flip through anything important. No. Okay.
Wait, do you leave it in your mailbox?
Yeah, it just sits in there.
What happens to it?
It eventually gets way too stuffed, and I'm like, all right, I have to handle this. So I'll just like go through my recycle bins right there. I'm like, all right, newspapers go in there. Oh, this looks important. Rip it up, throw it in the recycling.
Hey, Alex, you want to hang out later? No, I gotta empty that mailbox. Man, it's getting out of hand.
Got to sort my mail. Way too busy.
To like bounce off of that topic, when was the last time you guys wrote a check? You think you write more checks than you do like mail letters?
I had to write a check this morning
Mm-hmm.
for one of the letters I have to mail out. It was a $2.15 check
Oh boy.
for a toll.
No. You got hit with a combo this morning, man. And check.
Yeah. But yeah, rarely do I have to write out checks. I probably write out maybe 2 or 3 checks per year.
Okay.
I think the check that I used was number 4 in the book today. And I've had those for quite a few years.
Yeah, I used to when I lived in an apartment. I'd pay my rent every month by a check.
Yeah.
But since I bought my house, I don't think I've written a check.
Oh, okay.
So we're 4 or 5 years in.
Yeah.
No checks.
That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? You still writing checks?
No, I couldn't tell you the last time. I mean, I probably do a money order before I do like actually. I guess is that technically a check? I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I don't
Check
really know
adjacent.
what a money order is.
It's certified.
Yeah.
It's just like a bank
it's
check?
actually worth money. It can't bounce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you've actually put monetary value to it with the bank.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've never had to do a money order for anything. Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes apartments require it if you have like a safety or not safety
Security deposit?
security deposit. There's a
Right.
word, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, a lot of times you can get away without writing one ever.
I saw this thing like, what could you say to somebody in the younger generation to confuse them and have no idea what you're talking about? I feel like balancing your checkbook is one of those things.
I will say I am probably, and I probably could have balanced my checkbook when I was young. I was still probably past that though.
Yeah.
I mean, I wrote checks when I was younger. I didn't balance it though. I just kind of trusted I had the money.
Yeah.
Probably not the best way to go about it, but it worked out. But I'm not in the back every time I write a check.
I spent $28 at CVS.
Yeah.
Gotta write this down.
Yep. It's like, nah, I think I can swing it. I think I got it.
Yeah.
I feel like if you went to like a Gen Z cashier and try to pay with a check, they would just look at you.
You'd be like, does that have a chip?
What is this?
How do I scan this?
Is this money?
Is that a phone? Yeah, no, I don't even know if you can pay with a check at stores anymore. Like, I don't even know if they'll take it.
I don't know. I'm sure like the grocery store would have to take it.
Yeah, I feel like they do. Yeah.
Yeah. If they do, I'm getting so many free groceries tomorrow. It's crazy. There's no way they can like verify that in the moment, right?
I think they do. I think they put it in like this thing and sort of like scans it like right there. I think I've seen that happen.
I don't know.
Yeah.
When I was a cashier and people would use a check, we would just like scan it through and like
Yeah.
print some stuff on the back. I don't think it was actually scanning into your bank.
Oh,
though.
really? Oh.
But I've seen them like when you deposit like an actual check at the bank, they have like this weird thing that they slide it through, and like most of the funds are available instantly.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's my extent of knowledge on checks.
We know not a lot about checks.
Oh, God.
Direct deposit, so much easier.
It is.
Yeah.
You guys been keeping up with what Kanye is seeing or saying, or should I call him Ye?
I try to avoid it at all costs.
Yeah, his website was completely down the other day. I haven't checked to see if it's still up. Apparently, his wife's divorcing him now too.
That checks out.
I feel like wasn't that like a thing for a while? Like I heard it like a couple months ago where they're like possibly going through like a divorce.
I mean, No, I hear it's like verbally agreed to.
Really?
Apparently, she's only getting like $5 million though, which is a lot of money. But
It is,
still,
yeah.
if Kanye West is a billionaire and you're only going for that much,
How long have they been married? I feel like it hasn't been that long.
3 years maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, $5 million for 3 years. I would take that job. I would marry Kanye for $5 million for 3 years.
I hear he's gonna be single soon.
I don't know if I'm his type, but I'll throw my hat in the ring.
I think it's so like freaking weird. Like he buys that spot at the Super Bowl and then directs people to his website, and he immediately sells like a T-shirt with the swastika on there.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is,
maybe I don't want to marry that guy even for $5 million.
it's I don't know.
Yeah, he's a
apparently,
nut.
apparently, it's just a lot of yes men around him. Because if anybody combats him, he just freaks out and just kicks him off the team.
Yeah.
So people are just like, "Yeah, Kanye, that makes a lot of sense.
You're right.
Yeah, you should sell that T-shirt with German war influence on it."
I don't know. I think it's how could you like? I feel like that situation would be super stressful. Just like having to work with him, knowing that he could just like go off the rails at any time. I don't know. And just like fire you. It's
Yeah.
just like your whole livelihood is like gone right there.
I mean, imagine the worst boss you ever had and probably make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine it's, an easy gig to have.
Yeah.
And that's being an employee / entourage or whatever these guys are.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine being the spouse.
Yeah, you just have to like kind of defend him, but at some point it's just like too much.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine. I don't know her name. I don't know who she is or anything, but I can't imagine it was a good time for hardly any of it.
Is her name Bianca? I feel like it is.
Bianca,
That sounds
yeah.
right.
Do you guys think football is rigged?
I've been hearing a lot of that on like Twitter, and a lot of people saying that, especially like the referees are cheating for the Chief. That's what I've been hearing. I don't personally know if it is rigged, but people say a lot of sports are rigged because it gets people like in the seats when they see their like favorite team win.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's also a thing that just people of the losing team will say
Right.
because they're passionate. They want to have that, we're the best, but it's rigged. No, we're the best. But I mean, everyone's saying it's rigged in the Chiefs' favor, but the Chiefs got destroyed.
Right.
So I'm not really sure if the argument still holds water.
Yeah.
I don't follow football close enough to have any like actual evidence. Like, oh, on this call, the ref clearly I got nothing. But my inkling is no, it's not. Fans are just passionate and they'll kind of launch into that kind of stuff.
Right.
But my kind of theory is with how big sports betting has become in these past couple of years and the amount of money in that and how much Las Vegas is tied to it to feel like they have no influence whatsoever on it at all, just because the casino always has the edge.
Right.
So to say that they have no hand in it would be a little absurd in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the guys making the books are doing their job, though, they should have the edge anyway. As long as your odds are in your favor, which they are, we know they're in your favor. That's why you do it. I'm in the school of thought that I don't think anything in that like kind of field is rigged. I think the casinos can probably get their take just by having a bunch of slot machines and making the odds work for them. Granted, I mean, that's going to be a hard job in its own right, actually creating odds that are going to be accurate and attractive enough for you to throw a lot of money into it, but also giving the house an advantage in a way that they're going to come out on top.
How does one get that job? Are you just like a huge sports fan and you just study it and watch it for years and then you make all the odds for the casinos
I've got
and
to
everything?
imagine that most of the people that do it don't even like sports. I
True.
think they're probably looking at it from such a statistically, analytically driven point
Right.
that they're probably taking like the passion for the actual sport completely out of it.
Yeah.
And they're looking at it like ones and zeros. Like it is, and this is all guessing, but that's how I feel like you'd have to be to really get like an accurate take on what the expected outcome would be.
True. If it's just like a business at that point, that's just your
Exactly.
job.
Yep.
You can't have any bias towards one way or another.
Because that can easily swing you. Just having like, no, that guy, he's really good. And it's like, is he? No, I just really like him. He's just cool.
You think they interview those guys like they interview a jury? Like, do you have any influence towards the Kansas City Chiefs in any way?
I mean, like in anything, I'm sure there's always some bad actors, So
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be. There's always athletes that are betting on the games they're playing in. I mean, it's not often, at least
Yeah.
not that we know about, but it happens.
It does, yeah.
Have you seen about the scalping of the 5090 graphics card on eBay?
No.
So essentially, they'll drop them online on like Best Buy or whatever it is, and then people just have bots programmed to go in and purchase them right away, so actual consumers can't get them.
Mhm.
So what a lot of people have started doing is they'll go on eBay and they'll put up a picture of a 5090, and then this description will just say, if you're a real person, do not purchase this. You're only going to get a picture of the 5090 graphics card. And a bunch of bots have just been buying up these fake listings, and
Oh,
they just
really?
receive a picture of it.
I didn't know that. I heard about the picture and stuff, like actual people. Well, I guess the bots are actual people because somebody programmed them to do it. But yeah, I've heard stories about that. That's been going around. People getting like actual pictures in the mail.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you order something and you order like a dining room table and it
Yeah.
comes and it's like 3 inches big. And you realize, oh, that's why it was $18. It's a model.
But no, going back to the 5090 thing, I hate. Do you think it's morally right? Essentially, buy something for it costs $2,000. So like you buy it and then you turn around and like resell it for like 2 times what it's actually worth. Do you think it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna make it come up. That's fine. I could do that because I actually purchased the product. Do you think that's like okay? Do you think that's an okay thing?
I mean, it's essentially just scalping. People have
Yeah.
been doing that with different goods forever.
Yeah.
Like tickets, people just go on, they'll buy up, like, say, the Taylor Swift tour is coming to town.
Mhm.
Once the tickets go for sale, people buy up a bunch of them, then they
Right.
just list them on resale websites.
Yeah, I think scalpers are just bad because it makes it hard for like actual people who actually want to get the product to like actually either game on it or like do actual work.
Yeah. I mean, it's essentially like a
Yeah.
really rude way of investing.
Yeah,
Like you're buying something in short supply to sell it at a higher price. I
Right.
mean, you can do that with real things in real life. You can do that with houses.
Mhm.
You can do that with all kinds of things. And it's generally accepted.
yeah,
It's still like when someone buys all the houses in a town to sell them at a profit, like that's still not like looked down at like, oh yeah, that guy's cool. But yeah, it's kind of like the same idea where you are investing in something and then selling it for profit, which in certain areas is like, yeah, that's a normal thing you do. But when you're buying the entire supply and leaving anybody who wants it, either without it or buying it at a wildly marked up price, it's generally frowned upon.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's tough because it's like, yeah, you see an opportunity, you can make money on it, and that's kind of like what everyone's looking for, but also you're screwing a lot of people out of a lot of money for something that is not necessarily trivial, but most of these people are just using it for like, gaming setups and just their home computers.
Right.
Like it's not like you're like screwing over millionaires and large corporations. It's like, no, that's like my buddy Dave wants to
Right.
play video games and now he can't get this sweet new card he wants.
It's a supply and demand thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's also a lot of that's going to be outdated technology in what, 6 months, a year, anyways.
no, it's usually every like 2-3 years, give or take.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's still crazy. I mean, how much are these cards going for?
5090's 2,000, but it's not actually going to sell for MSRP. It's probably going to be 2,600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For something that'll be outdated in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
My entire PC setup, and I'm not running the best setup, was like $1,100, and I'll probably have it for 10 years.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
have been doing that with Pokemon cards too.
Mhm.
Like you see those videos of people in Costco or Target, they restock the shelf, and then there's just a line of people, and people are just fighting, grabbing as many boxes of these Pokemon cards as they can, just so they can go and resell them online.
Now, was there a resurgence of Pokemon? I feel like it wasn't really like in the forefront for a while. I honestly didn't even know it was back, but maybe I missed it and it's been hugely popular for the last 20 years.
I think it's always been popular to
Yeah.
a certain extent.
It's always been
Yeah.
super popular. In the past 5 years or so, it's
Yeah.
seemed like a huge resurgence.
Yeah.
One of the biggest contents online right now is people just ripping open Pokemon
Yeah.
packs.
Mhm.
They just rip open the pack, the first 7-8 cards, whatever it is, just garbage, throw them to the side, and they just see if they get that one holographic card in the back.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
think
it's pretty wild.
even though it was popular, I think the that mobile game actually like helped boost
Oh, yeah.
its
Pokemon Go?
Yeah, the popularity. So yeah.
I feel like Logan Paul had a big hand in its resurgence as well.
Yeah,
When he was buying up that like Charizard card, he wore it around his neck when he was
Yeah.
walking out to his Floyd Mayweather fight.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. He had like the rarest Charizard, like one of the rarest ones in the world, like around his neck when he was walking out to his Floyd Mayweather
What are we
fight.
talking value for this Charizard?
Don't quote me, but I think he said like $500,000,
I
something
mean,
like
wouldn't be
that.
surprising.
Because there was one dude who had 6 of them, and Logan Paul met up with him.
Yeah.
Was like, please, I will give you whatever you want for this card. And he just had like a suitcase full of cash, just like you name your price on it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I actually sold him one.
I mean, now was that the most valuable Pokemon card in existence?
It's a, I don't know if it's the most valuable in existence, but it was a first edition holographic
Okay.
Charizard.
Yeah, I mean, I know Post Malone's a huge Magic guy, and the One Ring was a card, a 1 of 1, and I think he paid the guy, I think it was $2 million for it. Yeah, a guy just a random guy pulled it from a pack, and yeah, I think it was $2 million. It was insane amount of money, but it's a 1 of 1, which doesn't happen. Like 1 of 1s aren't really a thing, even in collectible like trading card games. So
That's wild.
yeah.
That's a good payday for that guy.
Oh
honestly.
yeah.
Somebody can just value a little 4x2 piece of cardboard at $2 million. If
Yep.
you drop that thing in a puddle, it's worthless.
Oh my god. Yeah, that would be an absolute nightmare. I mean, you're holding a lottery ticket in your hand at that point when you open that up, and you know it. Everyone knew it was coming. Everyone was frantically opening packs because they know at minimum, I think there was an offer for a guy for $500K for it. So they knew at minimum they're getting $500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people will send these out to get graded by BGS or I want to say PGA, but that's not it. The other card grading company. And people just send them through the mail. Like, what if your package just gets lost?
I gotta imagine that those guys that know they have cards that are worth upwards of a couple grand. I mean,
Insure the
I would go
package.
to the place where they're getting graded. I'm keeping that in my hand.
But yeah, how much are they even insuring it up to? That's the thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's hard to even insure you don't have it graded yet.
Yeah.
You don't even know the value.
That's wild. Speaking of kind of supply and demand, Andrew used to be in the kind of real estate world. How do you feel about the real estate market right now?
So I've been out of it for about 2 years now, and I was only in it for a year. But the year I was in it for was pretty bad. I mean, you know.
Do you think
We
it's
were-
getting to a tipping point where people can no longer afford a home?
Yeah, I mean, we've been there for 4 years, maybe. I mean, it's to the point where it's not interest rates. Interest rates are high from what we're used to because we got really spoiled with 3%, 3.5%, even like, 2.8, whatever. We were super spoiled. Like, our parents never knew that. Our parents knew 14%. Like that, like we're still in a good spot with interest rates. The problem is, as interest rates went up, about 3-4% in the past couple of years, the prices of homes have gone up 50+% across the board. So, I mean, you combine those two things. I bought my house 4 years ago. If I were to buy it today, I'm paying almost double in my mortgage. And like, that's, I mean, you're pushing so many people. Like, you used to be able to, and this isn't like 30 years ago, like 7 years ago, you used to be able to have like a combined income of 80,000 and go buy a nice little house. Nothing special, but like, you used to be able to go buy a house. If you're not making, I don't know, I'm going to ballpark this, but 100, 120, you're not getting a house. Like, it's crazy. And if you are, you're going to be house poor because they're just, and you can make it work. You can make it work. You can take a lot of your earnings and funnel it into your house and you have a house and that's great. But you're allocating so many of your resources that 6 years ago, it was totally different. Yeah, it's miserable. I don't work in the industry anymore. Glad I don't work in it anymore. I tried it and yeah, it's rough.
I feel like it's just pushed so many people out of the market, just the price of them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like a lot of that's due to essentially flippers buying at like when houses were cheaper back in 2020 or so, putting say 40 grand worth of work into it, then reselling it for 2-3 times as much as they bought it for?
Honestly, I wasn't in the industry long enough to really have like a firm grasp on all the driving factors. I know there are a few things. The cost of building materials is really high. So people aren't building as many houses. I think it's gotten better. Like I said, I've kind of been out of it for a little bit. I think it's gotten better as far as how many houses are being built, which is great because the population is growing and we need to build houses for them. The population is growing faster than houses are being built, which is obviously a problem. So that's a problem. And honestly, it's just people know that people will pay the money for the house, even if it's way more than it's worth. And people haven't stopped. Like, it's pushed certain people out of the market, but there's so much more demand than supply that the people who can't afford it, it's just kind of too bad. There's other people who can.
Yeah.
So people need to stop buying houses, I guess, for it to stop. But if you keep spending the money, they're going to keep selling them.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's almost like we need to get it. And this could be completely off base. Like I said, I don't know what I'm talking about. But it's almost like we need to go on house buying strike. It's like, until you guys lower the prices, we're not going to buy them. Would that work? I don't know. Maybe.
Did you think how Kamala Harris presented that like $25,000 grant for first-time home buyers? Do you think that would have helped, or would that have just caused prices to continuously go up?
So I don't know, honestly. So here's the thing. A lot of people think you need a lot of money to buy a house. You only really need 3%. You can buy a house for, I don't know, like right now you can buy like a okay house for like 200. That's $6,000. Like, that's not a ton of money you need. Obviously you need a little more closing costs and everything. But if you got 10 to 12, you can buy a house. Obviously 25 is great, but 25 grand is getting you into the door of a $400,000+ house. I wouldn't say those are the people that need help buying a house. I think of, and again, don't know what I'm talking about. Did it for a year, but I think, I don't know. I always think about like, who is this money going to help? And reasonably, like $15,000 is getting the people that need the houses into the houses they need. And I don't know if it would have helped, but I don't think it would have hurt. I don't know how much it would have done though, because like I said, the down payment isn't usually the problem.
Yeah.
It's the fact that you're going in offering $320 on a house that lists for $280 and someone from the city's bought it for $450.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to do here? So I don't know. I don't think it would have hurt. I don't know how much it would have done to help.
Okay.
Fair.
That's good.
I feel like, even like you said, down payment's not usually the biggest factor in it. It's people that buy a $400,000 house, now they have a $4,000 mortgage, and that's $50,000 plus per year that you're spending on just a house.
Yeah.
For combined household income of $100,000, let's say, between a husband and wife, that's half of your income just going out to your housing.
Yep.
Which is wild.
Yeah. Almost anyone can save 15 grand given enough time and, money management. It might take you 10 years.
Yeah.
But like most people can save money for a down payment over time, but it's hard to be able to do that. And now you have a $2,800 a month mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
And now you just sustain that for the next 30 years. And granted, theoretically, your earnings should go up, but also so will your monthly mortgage as taxes go up. So yeah, it's the monthly payment that's the real struggle. And yeah, it's hard right now for someone who doesn't make a ton of money, especially as like a single person. Like, you almost need to have a spouse or a significant other to go in with you to help you for like the average person. Like the average person just, like, a good job pays you what, 65 grand a year? That's a good job. Not a great job. It's a good job. You can't buy a house. You can't do it.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is.
It's pushing so many people out of the market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sucks. It's yeah. And people our age, and I'm a little bit older than you guys, but like, you get out of college and you get a job and you're, I'm going to buy a house. And I was lucky. I was probably just old enough to get my life together, start making good money, buy a house. And then this happened. But you guys are, I think, about 4 years younger than me.
Yeah.
And you were just a little bit behind. And it's just puts you guys in such a harder spot.
It's tough out there.
It is. So I know we're asking you the hard-hitting questions, but I want to take it down a little bit. I know you raise chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 9 chickens.
Oh, okay. So what advice would you give somebody that, essentially wants to like get chickens and actually raise them? Like, what should they like look forward to?
So it's not going to save you any money.
Yeah.
If you're raising chickens like I am for eggs and you have, 5 to 10 birds, don't do it because it's going to save you money. It might make you a couple bucks if you like sell eggs to friends, and you can do it really like on the cheap. But between building your coop, we have a protective run for them too, because we had one get eaten by a fox, so now we keep them in a big run.
Right.
It's expensive, so you have to be ready for the cost of it. I mean, between the food and taking care of them and everything, it's going to be more than buying eggs. That being said, the eggs are better than you can buy at the grocery store. They're fresh. You're grabbing them and eating them. Like there's nothing better than a fresh egg. But yeah, it's so nice being able to walk into the backyard, and like I have a garden, and I'll walk into the backyard and I can grab eggs and grab maybe a couple peppers from the garden, and I can just like make like an omelet out of like just stuff I have, which is super cool. But yeah, it's really nice just having that little bit of, even though it's only, eggs, but it's nice having that self-sufficiency where you're like, oh, I'm just going to run to the backyard and grab some breakfast.
Okay.
So it's just, it's a fun process, but it's definitely like work too.
Yeah. You say work, it's like a lot of maintenance, like keeping them alive essentially.
It's not a ton of maintenance. It's just, we have an electric door now, an automatic door that opens and closes, but a lot of people don't. And if you don't, you've got to go out there at sunrise and let them out, and go out at sunset and make sure they're back in and close the door. They teach themselves to go in and out, but you still got to go close the door because something can get in and eat them. But it's just a matter of, you got to be there every day to do it. You have to, and again, it's not a ton of time, but it is time every day. Like they're not going to just like go to the shed and put more food in their thing. So it's maybe honestly 20 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Like it's not much to go out and like clean their water, give them food, all that stuff. But it's just something you have to be aware of, that like these are living creatures I have to go take care of. Like we have one right now that she has a lot of pin feathers, and she's kind of like having a hard time, which this time of year is really strange. We have her inside in like a dog kennel, like a fenced in area, while she recuperates, because she can't be outside because she's getting picked on by the other birds. She has like no feathers on her chest.
Yeah.
So there's like little things like where you're going to have to deal with like sick animals and animals that are not doing well, and it's your responsibility to keep them alive until the day you want to eat them. I don't think we're going to eat ours, at least not anytime soon. But yeah, it's super rewarding. It's fun to have them. It's nice to have that aspect of self-sufficiency, but it is one thing where like you're caring for farm animals. Like you have to actually keep that in mind, that it's not just like, I'm going to go outside and get eggs every day. There's a little more to it. But no, super rewarding if you want to put in a little bit of time, and like have that just there for you every day. It's super cool. I recommend it. I mean, I'm on a 1/4 acre.
Right.
I have no land. We have 5 raised beds and 9 chickens and a big run. Like you can have like that little bit of self-sufficiency on a tiny plot of land. You can do more than we're doing, but I want some actual yard. But yeah, it's cool.
Do you feel better raising these chickens with the cost of eggs these days?
I do. Like I said, I'm not necessarily saving money, but I'm also not spending the money elsewhere. So not only am I producing my own food, but I'm not like having to go to the grocery store and buy them. And obviously I'm having to bring in food to feed the chicken. So I'm like, you're still, somewhat contributing to the carbon output with the transportation of the food and everything. But the fact that you're not going to the grocery store and buying these things that are being trucked around the world is kind of nice. And I can say that my birds are living a way better life than any commercial egg layers would be.
True.
Yeah, they've got it good for some chickens.
Could you ever see yourself doing like a homesteading type of lifestyle?
I could. The trouble is property value. It is so hard to go out there and find like a 5 acre plus plot of land that is anywhere that anyone would want to live. I shouldn't say anywhere that anyone would want to live, anywhere that I want to live. I mean, to find that, in the price of that, even with like a very small, very simple home, is astronomical. It's very hard to get into it from acquiring the property and the land aspect. I think it'd be very cool to do. And I don't know if I'd ever homestead, but I would like to at some point have a little bit more of what I have as far as land and self-sufficiency that way. Yeah.
Well,
you guys have any interest in something like that?
Homesteading?
Yeah.
Probably not.
No.
I like ordering DoorDash and
See,
being
that's my
close
thing
to the
too.
store.
Like I want to like get a pizza and I want to like be able to do that stuff, but also I want like land. And it's this like conundrum. It's like I want to be kind of near a city, but also I don't at all. So
here's what you do. You get cows, you make your own cheese and milk, you produce flour, you grow tomatoes, You get pigs, so you can make like some ham and stuff like that.
Yep.
You just make your own pizzas.
Yep.
It's it might sound simple, but it's really hard. Like I watched this dude that does that stuff. I think he's called Golshaw Farms up in Vermont. Like he started out just like raising chickens and like he slowly like worked his way up to like owning cattle, and pigs and stuff like that. But like he basically takes you through the journey of just like how he got from like point A to like where he's at right now. And he's like he made a ton of mistakes and until he like actually like figured it out and he's like somewhat sustainable. And I mean he's still not making a ton of money on there. Like he's negative like most of the time.
And when you are running an operation like that, and if
Yeah.
you're trying to make money off of either your eggs or your dairy cows, or if you're raising cows for beef, the price you have to sell the product for is so high to make your money. Like I'll go to local farms and it'll be $16 a pound for farm fresh chicken, and like that's awesome. But also like I don't know if I can spend $16 a pound on. I bet it's delicious,
Right.
but like that it's so far out of a lot of people's reach to buy that like really high quality, well raised product. So it's you and does it deserve to be sold at that price? Probably, yeah. But it's just a lot of people are not going to buy it.
Yeah.
So you price yourself out of a lot of people's homes.
That's true.
It's tough. You want to buy local, like farm fresh stuff, but at some point you have to make a good financial decision for yourself and how far you can stretch your dollar. That's just how it is these days.
Yeah. Every dollar counts nowadays.
So for now, I guess you're just quarter acre farmer, Andy.
Yep. We're pretty much maxed out
Yeah.
on what we can do or what I'm willing to do on that property. But yeah, it's cool. Maybe someday I'll have maybe goats, something else a little more. But yeah, never cows probably. Cows seem like a lot for me.
Yeah.
But goats, I mean, you can just pick up a goat. Like, they're not even that big.
Yeah, goats are fun until they start jumping off of you or like
They're
running
kind
into
of
you.
evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just doing their own thing, jumping off things, eating everything.
Right.
Yeah, they're wild. But
What if you start hosting like goat yoga?
I would. Yeah, no, if I did something like that, I would probably find a way to generate revenue on it, not by selling the product of the animals, but by creating some kind of entertainment value of it for people.
You take like your goats to like kids' birthday parties. People
I don't
book you.
know if I could do that.
You got a
but,
little
like,
trailer to put them in the back.
but no, something like people now like really like that experience of, hey, I don't want to live on a farm. I don't want to work on a farm, but like I'd like to go pet your cows. Like that's a huge thing. Like people just like that like experience. And there's quite a few farms, like working farms like that around where you can go and you can buy some of their product and you can just walk through their field and you can pet their donkeys, and like it's like a real thing around here that people really like to do. So yeah, I mean something like that I think would be more where I would find myself versus raising cows for meat. Like that's not something I think I would ever do. But like having people like enjoy the experience of like spending times with the animals and just like seeing that like, hey, this is a real thing that actually still happens in your backyard. People actually still do this. Be cool.
You're that cool farm where all the TikTok moms come to. Come with me at my day at Andrew's farm.
I'll take it. I mean, that's a lot of free advertising.
There's this guy in the area where we live at, pretty close by. He owns a couple goats, and he just lets them out. They like eat his like grass and stuff. I mean, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, there are legitimate businesses where you can rent goats for a day or two, and they fence them in, and they will basically mow your lawn.
Yeah,
they'll eat away some of like the weeds and the bushes and stuff. And it's a thing you can do. You can go just rent 20 goats for the afternoon.
We're gonna have a goat mowing service.
Yeah.
Just pull up with the goats, give them a couple hours out on your lawn.
Not a bad investment.
Yeah. As far as the viability of the business, I don't know, but it's interesting. It's a fun idea.
I guess it depends on like where you live in the States. I guess you'll probably do pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, the cost you don't have any equipment, you don't have any machinery, you have a truck and a trailer, you drop off the goats, and then you come get them later.
All right.
You don't have to feed the goats because the goats ate all of their bushes. I can see it.
Kind of works out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool, man. I appreciate you coming on and talking to us. It was a really good conversation.
Yeah.